Your friends are very cool, aren't they? Maybe you have a friend who is very empathetic and another one of them is extremely kind. There's one who is hardworking, one is very determined. Now, what if you could steal their talents and merge them with yours? Ciao, and welcome back to my channel where we explore how to develop your soft skills and create the life you desire. Today, we're going to understand how to use your friends in a productive way to become the person you want to be. Have you ever heard that you become the people that you spend the most time with? Maybe you've already experienced it yourself. One day you realize that you're having that behavior that your friend John usually has, or the other day you are thinking in the same way that your friend Mary usually does, or at times you get the accent that your friends have. And this is usually normal, but what we don't realize is there are two ways to become the friends that we spend time with. The first one is a passive way. What does it mean? You don't do anything, and all of a sudden you realize that you're thinking like them. The second way is active, and this is the one that can really improve your life by a lot. What does it mean? Let's see it together by doing an exercise that at the end of this video will allow you already to have that talent that your friend has. Think about your friends. The first ones that come to mind, there may be some faces that come to mind, some images, some feelings. Who are the first 5 people that you think about when you think about your friends? Now, for each of these friends, what I would like you to do is to think about what you really like in the way they are. Maybe there's someone that's particularly kind. Maybe there's one that's very ambitious, very driven. Maybe there's someone that is very straightforward when they talk. There's someone that is very organized. I'm giving you some ideas, but you of course think about your friends. And now ask yourself, how can you make sure that that talent becomes your own? Well, the first step is to identify the talent that you would like to get. So choose one of them so that we start with that, and then later you can do it with everyone else. Wonderful. Now, once you've identified the talent, the second step is to start really observing your friend when they put that talent in action. So think about that. When you think about your friend being kind, what is it that you see? When you think about your friend being organized, how do you know that they are organized? What are the behaviors, the actions that you see them putting in place in order to be kind, organized, driven, and so on? The good thing about being your friends is that you know them, that you've spent a lot of time with them. So most of the times you can do this exercise without even seeing them anymore. But of course, if you see them again, you will be able to enhance this thing. When you realize that Josh is extremely ambitious, how do you know that? What for you describes Josh being ambitious? Maybe you see them working hard, maybe you see them answering a call, maybe you see them thinking about their work in a certain way, talking about their work in a certain way, having big dreams. Ask yourself to picture your friend Josh and the way they are ambitious as clearly as possible, with as many details as possible. There will be a set of images that come to mind. There will be a series of words that they tend to say. There will be behaviors, actions that probably are the ones that you're not taking yet. And then copy and paste. Modeling is one of those skills that can really help us to improve on a certain ability. Does it mean that you need to mimic them, that you need to just be exactly like them? No way. But the first step is to copy and paste those actions that you are not taking yet. So if you consider Josh to be ambitious, much more ambitious than you are, and you want to be ambitious as Josh, what do you need to do? You need to replicate those behaviors that Josh is putting in place that you are not. And the advantage that you have is that by knowing Josh, having spent time with him, you have observed those actions in place. Now, what could happen? It could happen that for most of the talents, you just observe the person and ask yourself to replicate it, and everything works fine. There may be some other talents, some other actions that require extra effort from your part. And that's normal, because there may be things that you've never really done. That's okay. Just start with one. Taking one action rather than 0 is so much better than taking 0. So ask yourself to take that first step that allows you to get closer to that characteristic that you love that they have, and use the fact that you are around them to allow them to rub off on you. Because in the moment in which you allow yourself to be like a sponge and absorb the way they think, the way they behave, for those characteristics that you like, then it's like if you were stealing their talents, but with the difference that even though you're stealing them, they still have them. So it's not real steal, I would say. So you're stealing their talents, you're making them yours, and you are completing the person that you want to be, thanks to the fact that you're surrounding yourself with people that are amazing and that have the characteristics that you would like to have as well. There's a quote that says, if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. Now, I believe that it shouldn't always be the case, because there are certain moments in which you may be the smartest in the room, and that's fine. But it's also true that we do need to put ourselves in conditions to be surrounded by people that in certain specific things are better than we are, so that we can learn from them, so that we can observe, replicate, try, until we find our own style of being ambitious, of being kind, of being straightforward, determined, and so on. So, start with the 5 friends that you have selected. Choose one characteristic for each. I'm sure they have many more than one, but start with one. And if you realize that the image that you have in your mind about how they are like that is a bit blurry, no worries. When you meet them again, observe. Become an observer. Become a researcher. When you are sincerely interested in understanding the thought processes that people go through in order to put in place certain behaviors, then it becomes simpler to replicate them. So use the fact that you have them around in your life in order to enhance and elevate your skills. And they, of course, can do the same with you, so that these friendships can become really a way for both of you to evolve and grow into the people that you want to be. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so and like this video. And talking about relationships, here are another couple of videos that you could find very, very interesting. See you in the next video.